Hello, welcome back to Jump Scare. This is our bonus episode, our first one we've ever done. I'm Betty B. Deadly,
And I'm Shad Youngblood.
and I was thinking that maybe we should do a bonus episode because so many things have happened in the horror world this week, and I wanted to discuss and touch base with it a little bit.
Yeah, starting with the Super Bowl was when we started getting all kinds of news.
Yeah, the scary tales, scary stories to tell in the dark movie. When I first heard about the project, I was very hesitant. I heard about that and Are You Afraid of the Dark? Um, I was like, you know what? These are my childhood memories. Hollywood, fuck off. Like you're not gonna do it justice. You're gonna ruin it. And they're both so dear to my heart that no one is gonna be able to do this. But after seeing the first teaser trailers, there was four of them, each one four or five, each one like discussing a different story that we've all loved and read as children slash your whole life. I was like, that's pretty cool. I really liked the way it looked. It was very scary, and Guillermo del Toro's producing. I think he may have done the script. I know he's not directing.
I did see an interesting thing on Twitter where someone commented that the one of the features, one with the clown,
Yeah.
that it would look a lot better if they didn't use CG, and he replied saying, "We didn't use any CG on that scene, there, boss."
Wow.
So
Schooled. Yeah,
yeah,
he loves practical effects. And I'm sure there's some things that you have to use CG, but he's pretty into the practical effects, and this is his baby. Like, for those of you who do not know, Guillermo del Toro loves scary stories to tell in the dark. He owned original illustrations from Stephen Gamel, and I think that those have been totally lost in the fire that occurred a couple of months ago.
no, his house survived.
Oh, it did
Yeah,
survive.
he survived. Of course it did. He has probably has spells of protection around the whole place.
No, I could have.
Rings of salt, and no, it was coming to his house, but it did. They saved it.
Okay. Oh, good, good.
I'm
So,
sure all they
because
had to
the
do
freaking
was,
shit is a museum. I'm sure he has ridiculous insurance on that.
and I'm sure all they had to do was put out the call to the horror nerds, and a van of them drove up through the fire with trucks and rescued everything in that place, and then he drove away casually in the car from the car because he owns that. Just honked the horn and made that little that it does, and they drove away, and that was it.
Wow. So yeah, I'm really thrilled to see that. Uh, just the story is kind of okay, but really, how can you bring all those stories together within one cohesive story if it's not it's kind of like a four teenagers are investigating mysterious deaths, mysterious things that are happening in their town, and each one of them I'm sure is going to go through different things, but I dug it. And the other thing that happened in the Super Bowl was the commercial for the upcoming Twilight Zone with Jordan Peele at the helm.
Yeah, that looks like. I haven't really seen the actual footage from it yet. We just got his intro to it, where it looked like the Super Bowl, the station had gone off the air.
Yeah, which was cool.
I'm sure that freaked a lot of people out. I'm sure they started throwing things at the screen. Uh, but I'm anxious to see it because anytime you have the Twilight Zone, even ones where they haven't been as successful, there's still good stories that they tell in every different incarnation of that. Like the classic one from the 50s had tons of them. They did a reboot of it twice in the 80s, once on network TV and then once in syndication, and they both had a lot of good episodes. And they even did one with Forrest Whitaker hosted
Yes,
one in
yeah,
the
that.
early 2000s, and they redid some of the classic ones, which I wasn't 100% with some of that. Like they had Jessica Simpson play in the Eye of the Beholder one about
God.
with the the ugly people. And,
Yeah, barf.
but you watched it and it wasn't terrible. It wasn't as good, obviously, because you could see the twist coming a mile away because you knew what it was going to be already. But even then, they had some good ones in those episodes too. So it's always a good because they give somebody a chance to do like a little short film that they have that they couldn't get made somewhere else. And I'm sure he's going to find some people that are outside, that think outside the normal Hollywood box. So I'm excited for that. The only drawback is it's on the CBS streaming service only.
Yeah, which I will not be paying for. I'm not paying you all access CBS to get to see these episodes. So I may or may not be missing out because I have two concerns. One, is it going to be as terrible as the recent monthly horror TV stories from a big production house that are terrible? Because all those stories are, some of them are similar to other things that have happened. Well, one in particular, last one, and which we're not gonna name names, but and they're just terrible. I don't care for any of the storylines, and they're completely very slow. They're just so draggy. And are they gonna try to pull a Black Mirror kind of thing? Because already Black Mirror exists. The Twilight Zone always covered all different aspects. I mean, they had stories about everything. It was horror, sci-fi, like you got all kinds of stuff. Yeah, family drama. I mean, there were so many things.
You got them that were set in the Old West, yes, in the far future. They were all over the place in terms of where they set them. So it'll be interesting to see if these are all just going to be set like in modern times, or if they're going to be anywhere from cavemen to Star Trek,
Yeah, well, the thing with the Black Mirror is like, because that's really popular, and all of those episodes deal with the technology. So they're not that all of the Twilight episodes might be like technology driven, but you never know. So I don't really know what to like expect from this. I'm kind of like blah about it, to be honest. One, because I have no intention of getting all access. I have enough things to watch and I'm not paying for it. And then the other one, I'm kind of like, I love Jordan Peele, don't get me wrong. I mean, we will be discussing his upcoming film very shortly.
Well, this will be a thing to rent on Redbox, or just pick it at the DVD up at Walmart or wherever.
Yeah, if it does come out. The next thing that occurred in the week was the Child's Play. That actually, the trailer drops tomorrow, and they kind of dropped the trailer earlier, but then they pulled it. I was able to watch the trailer when it was released, and I was like kind of like whatever about it. It didn't seem like anything special. I'm not really crazy about this whole like reboot, revisioning, reimagining, whatever Hollywood wants to fucking call it. It's not because I'm one of those like, oh, there can only be one Chucky and one whatever. I mean, if Brad Dourif is not doing the voice, I'm not interested. Like, he's Chucky. Like, look how we all know he's Chucky. But
and it's weird because at the same time they're going forward with other movies, and even a TV series that Brad Dourif, the
Chucky thought, because this is like Child's Play.
There's some weird loophole in the rights.
It's like Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2 kind of thing,
where it's going to be the same movie over, but who knows?
They like lost the rights kind of thing.
Yeah,
like it's a hot mess, but I'm not really into like Android or computerized doll. Like, there's no Charles Lee Ray. Like, what's the premise? How is this doll evil? I have so many questions. So from what I saw, I was like, they had those main scenes that we know, like the babysitter. Like, there was a crime scene with someone with a sheet, like getting sent away in a gurney. There was police involved. You see, that long hallway shot with him calling out to Chucky. The doll like slides off a chair in another scene. There was like different clips here and there. They had like the factory that's making these. It was like an like white futuristic quote unquote like lab, where like there's light coming from like the desk like illuminating, and they have like the dolls like in production on there, like doing whatever they're doing with it. There was like all these different things that are
all I think about when there's going to be a mass produced doll that turns evil is the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode where Bart gets the evil Krusty doll.
Yes.
They call the 1-800 helpline, and the guy comes out and says, "Well, here's your problem. You got this thing set to evil," and just flips it to good. And then it just shows, the doll's just taking out the trash, walking the dog, and being perfect from that. That's all I thought of when I saw that was, oh, they set that thing to evil.
That's exactly what happened. Flip the switch, guys. Flip the switch.
Turn it back to good.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know what to take away from it. I'm kind of like blah about it. And my blahness may or may not be continuing with the next thing that has come out, which is the new Pet Sematary poster
And trailer.
I'm gonna let Chad take the thing on this because he read the book. Like we've both seen the original film.
Yeah.
So he has more insight on why they went in a certain direction. I mean, there's not going to be any spoiler alerts because they literally spoil it for you in the poster.
There's a trailer.
Well, there's a poster of that she's like standing, like in the forefront.
Oh yeah.
And right smack in the middle, so it's not
Now, quick,
Gage.
The change that they're making to this is that it's not Gage who gets hit and killed in the street by the truck. It's the daughter, Ellie. And I read online where they said they changed it because of the difficulties of trying to work with a toddler and trying to get them to look convincing doing the things. And then they said they would either have to CGI it or use a doll. And they also, oddly enough, in the interview mentioned Child's Play. But they said, a lot of the things in Pet Sematary, the little running feet, the little noises, that happened again in Child's Play, and it's kind of more in your mind of an evil doll Chucky when you see that than it is from Pet Sematary. So they wanted to avoid that, and they're going to bring in elements from the novel. In the book, Gage didn't just say the little cutesy lines like "I want to play with you." He talked to him in a very demonic voice and would tell them their fears, what they were afraid of. He would use the phone to call Judd and talk to him in a, like demon voice and tell him what he was afraid of.
You are very afraid of the dirty dishes, Mommy.
Yeah.
Was it something like that?
Something, well, more like, your fear of dying or your fear of your sister, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're scared of the closet man. Ha ha.
Yeah. Except imagine it much eviler.
Much eviler? That's pretty fucking evil.
But, so, I'm kind of okay with the change to it because I think from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be, Gage came back and from second one, he was evil murdering people. And it looks like that in this, that they may show a little bit more of a gradual slide for the daughter coming back. Coming back a little okay at first, a little off, and then going gradually more evil.
She looked a little dirty.
Yeah.
Like, I know she just probably dug herself out of a grave. But when, like, throughout, and, the way it's edited, you don't really know where, kind of, it's going to be taking place in the movie per se. But it's just like, why don't we just take you a bath first? Like, stop walking around looking crazy. Like, let's wash your hair.
Let's
looks
get you
a
in the
little
shower.
dirty. Like, let's rinse you down. Maybe you're going to look less demon-esque if we, like, bathe you.
And another thing that they show in the trailer that was in the book that they didn't really get into in the original movie was when they're going out just initially to bury Church in the Pet Sematary. As they're going out there, they first have to climb over like a huge pile of logs and trees that have been set up to kind of keep the Pet Sematary separate from the path. And that, they feel like that, they say in the book how they felt like under normal circumstances, if they just went out there and they didn't have something to bury, they wouldn't be able to climb over that thing. But something was guiding them over it and letting them get through. And then as they're going through the path, they hear voices, they hear people talking to them, telling them things. They see, ghosts, they hear tree branches cracking like they're being followed. And they get the sense that there's a lot more going on out there than just the evil Pet Sematary. And it looks like they're incorporating that into the movie, which that'll be cool because the book, that's some of the creepiest scenes in the book is when they're going through the woods and they're hearing things and Judge telling him, don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. Don't look to the side. Just keep your eyes on the trail straight ahead. Ignore what they say. So I'm kind of okay with it, and I think it'll be, you know, another thing with the even with the Pet Cemetery novel, not that much happens in it. I mean, it's the horror elements don't really come in, even after he buries Church and Church comes back. Church is just kind of pissy and hateful after that, and smells bad. It's not. I'd say it's 3/4 of the way through the book before Gage dies and comes back. Most of the book is just kind of centered on them as a family drama, and like I said, everything happens at a very rapid pace at the end. So maybe with this, it'll change things around a little bit, and you get to know like the daughter a little bit better apparently from what I see on the trailer. Whereas with Gage, he didn't really talk. I mean, you felt bad, of course, that he got run over. He's a toddler, but maybe you'll get to be a little bit more connected with the daughter, and it'll have more of an impact when she's going after Judd and all of them. So I'm okay with it.
I've seen the movie. I'm like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. I don't know. I just really enjoy. Um, I wasn't gonna say the worst Stephen King ones, but I don't like Rose Red, so I guess no. But I'm thinking like I love The Stand. I love the whatchamacallit, not the Langoliers, terrible. The Tommy Knockers. I like those Needful Things. So I was not really like Sleepwalkers, because we're theatrically Sleepwalkers was like, out of the ones I named, was the ones that those were all TV. This is an actual feature film.
Yeah.
So Sleepwalkers, I really love that movie. I know it's a cheesy movie, whatever, but I was not really like hardcore about Pet Cemetery, so I am like could care either way. The movie has very freaky elements. It just always bugged me, like, why the hell are you having a picnic on the side of the fucking road? Like, you couldn't move closer out of the thing. No one's watching, like, the kid.
And this one kind of answers that too. If you notice,
yeah,
they were further away from the road than what it was. Yeah, it's like no one's watching the baby. Like no one. If there was ever a time for one of those baby leashes, when there's a road with trucks coming down every 2 minutes. And even at the beginning of the original, Judd kind of picks the kid up before he goes out in the street the first time. After that, I would think you would have that kid on a leash where he can't get more than 5 feet from you.
Hells yes. And,
Or here's a crazy idea. Put up a fucking fence.
Yeah.
In the front yard.
Have
all
like
the way
an outside
around.
playpen.
Yeah, put up a fucking fence. The kid can't get through the gate if it's locked.
He might be able to get his little leg on there with his wills away.
Yeah.
But I don't care for like that. What's that name of that predictable movie that came out a couple of years ago that has all the people with like the animal masks?
You're next.
Yeah, I don't like the "you're next" element. I know you did mention that does actually happen in the novel, right?
I don't remember the masks in the novel, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
So that may be something new that they're adding, but that's animal masks are in right now. They're in everything.
I know, they're so annoying. I just want to get rid of all animal masks because
I have a feeling that the
hate them.
purpose to the mask is so that they can have a stunt person inside underneath the mask, a small stunt person doing some of the things that the little girl's going to do.
Okay.
That may be the purpose to the mask. They can hide her face, and then they can have a small stunt person that can come along and do the cutting, jumping around and all that, and then you don't have to have a kid doing that.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I have a feeling that's why the mask is to hide the stunt person.
Well, we'll see soon enough. The film will be out summer?
April, I believe.
April? Okay, in the spring.
Excuse me.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm hopeful about it.
Okay. Well, what's the next thing that came out? So we got what we said we were gonna...
The new poster for Us, also from Jordan Peele.
Oh, yes. That actually is the main thing I want to talk about, because since the first trailer, I have literally been obsessed with trying to come up with all different theories and like...
Clones.
Theories on what's going on. Did you say clones?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's clones. Fine. There's something in that kind of like clone world I feel is gonna happen, because what's the whole like thing with the bunnies? They show in the first trailer there's a lot of bunnies. And you know, usually when you're like cloning, you're always gonna get like a small, simplistic kind of like animal. Maybe there's some kind of weird experiment that's happening, you know, with the bunnies. They make it a point to show it, I think, like 2 or 3 times, and they're like in like a facility. So I'm kind of like in that clone-ish world, but the poster just, I think it kind of like speaks volumes. The tagline is "Watch Yourself." You have Lupita, the actress. She's the mask, like, because what's shown with her tear is like it's her, but it's also not her.
Yeah.
It's like both. Like you can see like she's lost somewhere there, but it's also like the beast or the evil part of her that's coming out. Like we all wear masks. We're not who we seem. Like that kind of thing.
I'm thinking maybe it's a thing like they released some clones that escaped from the lab. And they think they're leading a perfect life. That's why they're coming back to the remote house to stay, and not realizing that maybe it's a test. They're sending them out to see how they interact in the world.
Maybe that's a thing. Well, you know, Jordan Peele had a interview with Entertainment Weekly, a little while back, and he indicated that he had asked Lupita, the main actress, to watch certain films in order to get like a mindset, like a shared language, so to speak, of these films in connection to us. And I'm just gonna like randomly name some names. So The Birds, The Shining, The Sixth Sense, Let the Right One In, The Babadook, It Follows. Those were some of the movies that he like told her that she has to watch. That's a very interesting list.
Yeah, and some of them, like The Birds, kind of doesn't fit in with the rest of the others.
Yeah, Funny Games is in there, so it's like a mix of like horror-esque drama. Like you got a little bit of everything kind of in there. Um, and they all have different elements of horror within them. Like there's like isolation. Um, you have like that uh fear, like the birds. I don't know what the connection would be with the birds. I'm trying to think of like how, I haven't seen that movie in ages, how the birds affected the townspeople, because it has to be like something in along those lines. Probably how, you know, just one element of chaos like either brings people together or tears them apart.
Yeah.
Would probably be like the connection there. But there's definitely, I mean, I'm dying to see this movie, no pun intended.
And it comes out in March, I believe, doesn't it?
Yeah, it comes out March. I believe it's March 15th. I'm going to be there like March 13th, waiting in line.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see that one too, because, it's very rare now to see a trailer and not know what the hell's going on. Some of them just tell you the whole movie in the trailer. So when you see one and you can't figure out what the hell's happening in it, that's a good trailer.
Yeah. Jordan Peele in the first movie, there's definitely social commentary on there. I wonder what the social commentary, because I feel like there's definitely going to be social commentary in this film.
I've read that there is, but not as heavy as Get Out.
Okay.
That it's like he said that he didn't want, that it wasn't that he wouldn't make other movies with that, but everything wasn't going to be heavy social commentary.
He wasn't going to pull, and I hate to say this because I do love this director, but M. Night Shyamalan, where like every movie, it's like there's going to be a twist.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. He's very talented, so he can definitely mix it up a bit. So yeah, it was a strong week in horror. A lot of releases, a lot of teaser trailer slash poster slash trailer. I mean, I'm really intrigued to see the trailer that's gonna drop tomorrow for Child's Play. So I can kind of compare. I only saw the trailer once, but I tried to memorize as much as I could because I definitely wanted to share it on our page, the Orlando Horror Society on Facebook. Name drop. And I wanted to share with you guys. to see like what you thought, like, what's going on. Definitely leave us a review. If you're happen to be in iTunes, we really would love people to leave reviews so we
Leave
know.
reviews, leave comments on the episodes. You can leave us comments on the Podbean page as well. And yeah, just get in touch with us. We want to hear from you. What would you like to hear us cover?
Are you out there? Are you alive? Are we doing this for nothing? I mean, I love doing this. I love discussing
I've
this
seen
kind
the
of
map.
stuff.
I've seen someone in New Zealand. Hello, New Zealand.
Hi, New Zealand. Like, I hope you stay tuned to the horror and, let me know. Who are you? Are you still listening? Did you just listen once and hate it? Why'd you hate it? We need to know these things.
Drop us a line on iTunes or drop us a comment on Podbean. And we'll post links to everything in the description of the episode. And get in touch with us. Let us know what you think.
All right, stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.